All right, let's talk about a term you've probably heard 1,000 times, but maybe don't fully get: semantic SEO. Is it just another buzzword, or is it a fundamental shift in how we need to think about content and search? Let's find out. Because according to our source material, it's a concept that's widely misunderstood. So, what is semantic SEO really? The source for this whole breakdown, an in-depth analysis by Alexander Rodriguez Silva, argues that the definitions you find floating around online are often incomplete and sometimes just plain wrong. That's a pretty bold claim, right? It means a lot of people who think they're doing semantic SEO are actually missing the entire point. So if the common understanding is off, we need a whole new way to look at this. To really understand what semantic SEO is, we first have to clear the air and talk about what it's not. And honestly, this is where most of the confusion really lies. And there it is. This quote from our source cuts right to the heart of it. It draws a clear line in the sand. Traditional, volume-based keyword research is fundamentally incompatible with a true semantic strategy. We're talking about two completely different philosophies here. This comparison really breaks down that philosophical difference. Standard SEO, it's reactive. It looks at what people are typing, the keywords, and tries to match it. Semantic SEO, on the other hand, is proactive. It focuses on the underlying meaning and intent, not just the words themselves. It's about answering the question behind the question. And let's clear up a couple more things. You might hear terms like entity SEO or topic clusters thrown around as if they're the same as semantic SEO. And while they're related pieces of the puzzle, they are not the same thing. A semantic strategy uses concepts like entities and topic clusters as tools, but it's the overarching philosophy, the why, not just the what. So, if it's not about keywords, then what is it all about? Well, it's right there in the name: semantic. Understanding this one word is the key to unlocking the entire strategy. In linguistics, semantics is simply the study of meaning. And its main job for both humans and for search engines is to solve one huge, constant problem: ambiguity. Ambiguity. Language is just full of it. The same words can mean completely different things depending on the context. Search engines grapple with this every single second of every day, and this is the problem that semantic SEO is built to solve. Our source uses this fantastic example from Brazilian Portuguese. Now, even for a native speaker, this sentence is ambiguous. It could mean two very different things. And this gets right to the heart of the challenge. Did Alex literally kick a wooden tent post? Or is this a common idiom that means Alex had a meltdown, flew off the handle, and threw everything into chaos? A search engine has to figure that out. It has to understand the difference between the literal meaning, the denotation, and the figurative intended meaning, the connotation. This is what it all boils down to. A semantic strategy is all about communicating your intended meaning, the connotation, to the search engine. It's about making your content so clear in its context that the ambiguity just melts away. Think of denotation as the what. It's the straightforward dictionary definition. For example, the denotation of snake is a legless reptile. Simple, direct, but it's missing all the richer meaning. Connotation, though, that's the how and the why. What does snake imply? Deceit, danger, betrayal. That's connotation. It's the language of true meaning, and it's what semantic SEO is all about communicating. Okay, so once you grasp this distinction between denotation and connotation, it leads to a radical shift in strategy. It completely flips the traditional SEO process on its head. This is maybe the single most important insight from our source. The core difference isn't a tactic or a tool, it's a starting point. It's all about where you look for the answers first. The old way is outside in. You start by looking at what your competitors are doing, what keywords have high search volume, what the audience seems to be interested in. Then you create content to chase those external signals. It's a reactive game. The semantic approach is inside out. It begins by looking inward, at your organization's unique expertise and domain of knowledge. You first map out what you know, your unique expertise. You structure that meaning into logical categories or taxonomies, and then you create content that authentically reflects that deep understanding. It's proactive and authoritative. Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? The key is to remember that words aren't the things themselves. They're just labels we use to point to a concept, or what we call in SEO, an entity. This slide makes the concept perfectly clear. You, me, and Google's knowledge graph all know that whether we say Pelé, the king of football, or athlete of the century, we are talking about the exact same entity, the person Edson Arantes do Nascimento. The words change, but the core concept stays the same. A semantic strategy focuses on defining that core concept for the search engine, not just chasing all the different labels. So, as we wrap this up, let's boil it all down to the main takeaway. We're witnessing a fundamental shift from a web of keywords to a web of meaning. So here's the bottom line. Stop thinking of your site as a list of pages targeting individual keywords. Instead, think of it as a body of knowledge, a universe of interconnected concepts that, together, demonstrate your deep expertise and answer your audience's true intent. And that leaves us with one last question for you to consider. Look at your own work. Are you playing the old game of chasing what people type into a search box? Or are you playing the new game, understanding and answering what they really mean? The answer to that question might just define your future success. Thanks for joining us.